Hello, hello, hello. So we're gonna get back to creating and finishing the podcast because we need to upload the podcast and figure out how to do all of this. How to figure out how to do, like podcasts to different platforms. YouTube is gonna be easy, but I really wanted to be on Spotify and also on iTunes just to be more professional and legit. So let's get to it. Also, wait, I'm trying to figure out how I can upload the brand images because that'd be pretty cool. Um, why is it in Spanish? Okay. Whoa, wait, what the? They did it? Is this new? That's crazy. What the? This is what I've been waiting for. 3 hours, you can still convert 180. That's cool. Um, well, that makes my life eat. Wait, I already have. Oh, I haven't published it yet. That's awesome though. Bro, I'm like having trouble. Let's batch edit. Oh, no, it's here somewhere. Or is it literally at the web? I think it's the same now here. Yeah. I can't see. Hmm. I wonder if where the fuck is that? Let's look at the Google it. Where's the brand kit?
I got guns in my head and they won't go. Spirits in my head and they won't go.
¿Por qué no te vas a la reconcha puta de tu madre, hijo de puta? Dame, porque quiero humillarla públicamente.
No, a mí no
mostrando
me
los
vas a
datos,
humillar
dale.
porque
Dale,
yo lo
dale.
gato.
Forros como vos que se hacen la paja, pelotudo.
Yo estoy a favor de la libre portación de armas.
Hey guys, and welcome back to this channel. In this video I'll be showing you guys how you can save like text effects on your like brand kit, sorry. So I'm just going to type in anything I want basically, and I want to add in like the font. Sorry, I want to select, not add in the font. I want to select a font as well here, and then for instance, I've already like selected a specific color for it, and I've already added in some effects like this like glow effect. Just going to quickly adjust the intensity and the range. And for instance, I've already curved it as well and added in animation, stuff like that. I think it only works for the effects here, but for instance, I want to like save this like preset for like my brand kit. You're just going to select add to brand kit, and you're going to name the text preset. Select the space you want to add the text in and just press OK. If you want to use that again, just go to presets and then select the text and add to text. I think it only works for like some effects, like not the sorry, not the like glow one. I don't know why it didn't show for it, but that's how you can do it. I hope this tutorial was helpful for you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and also subscribe to this channel if you haven't done that already. If you have any questions, just leave it in the comment section down below, and I will try my best to answer them all for you guys. And you're going to name the text preset for the effects here, but first is I want to like save this like preset for like my brand kit. You're just going to select add to brand kit.
Oh. Okay.
There's this new feature in CapCut called the Brand Kit. This is just recently launched, and if you go into your app settings on your phone and check your version of your app, you may want to upgrade your app from the App Store to get on the latest version. Music next to it. Sign Brand Kit within the CapCut application on your PC. With the CapCut application open, go to the home page and open up your space. If you have a space set up, go ahead and click on the space. And from here, you're going to see a tab here that says Brand Kit. Click on Brand Kit.
Nope.
Kit. And this is where all of your files will be living.
When was this published? 7 days ago. How the fuck?
This is the most requested video on this channel, and I think it's about time I make that video. Alright guys, let's get started.
I'm gonna get ideas.
So this is a watch, a wristwatch that we'll be using for this edit. You can find it on pexel.com. I'll leave a link to the exact ones down there below. You can download and practice your hands on it. So we just drag and drop in the timeline. So let's just increase it. Let me bring this down a little bit. And let's increase the scale of it. Let's go to somewhere 160% and drag it so it will be right in the middle. With the watch video selected, go to the right side, click on adjustment, then click on HSL. On orange, let's turn the saturation down. We want to make it black and white kind of ish for now. Then go to the all yellows and take the saturation down too. And probably with the brightness, let's go down on that too. Then click on the curves. We want to introduce some teal color into it. Scroll down. On the green curves, make a point at the middle and drag it up a little bit. Then we do the same thing on the blue curves, make a point at the middle and drag it up so we can introduce more kind of teal color into it. I think with the greens I can go more. Now when I take it off, you can see we added some teal color to the watch. Now click on the video and make sure you click on the basic. Then scroll down on opacity. Let's take it down to somewhere 80%. So now we have this on the screen. Now click on the watch video. Take your player to the starting frame. Go to the right side and make a keyframe on scale. Then take your playhead to somewhere 12 seconds in the timeline, or it could be more than that. Then make another keyframe on scale. And this time around you can change it to 130 or 140%. So now we have this, it zooms out slowly. So with the text animation, go to the left side, click on text, drag default text in the timeline. And we want this text to be somewhere 10 to 12 frames. So then I'm just going to cut this side off. So now I have 12 frames with the text. Now with the text selected, go to the right side, delete default text, and type in the text you want to write. Let's change the font size to somewhere 10. And also with the font style, I'll go with Futura, or you can go with some thin style. I think this was closer to what Magnet Media was using. So I'm just going to leave it right in the center. Then with the text still selected.
This is one that I like. Go to like pages, likes. This guy, Trevor.
I'm going to teach you 5 Ali Abdaal editing hacks that you can do in CapCut so you can create viral shorts like he does.
Sounds too good to be true.
Yeah, well, it's true, so back off, man.
Using
Number 1,
movie
let's create
clips in your
paper
videos
edges.
is dangerous business.
I don't need another speech by some impotent whack job whose mother didn't love him.
Whatever, Star-Lord. I'm going to show you 4 ways to find and download movie clips to use in your videos. The last one is so powerful that when I posted a video on how to use it on YouTube, YouTube banned my video, deleted it off the platform, and gave me a copyright strike warning. But I'm going to risk it for you.
You are so brave.
Yeah, I know.
You're not brave. Men are brave.
Is it legal to use movie and TV clips in your videos? Well, I'm no lawyer and this ain't legal advice, but I did make a video explaining the very fuzzy rules of fair use. It's linked in the description. You should watch that after you watch this video so you don't go to jail.
I don't care if I go to jail.
The first way to find and download movie and TV clips is playphrase.me. It looks just like this. When you first log in, you will see a bunch of quotes here on the right that are popular, most common phrases in their database. You can see that they've got 7.6 million quotes or phrases. The free version, which you're looking at right here, gives you 5 quotes. Now, the caveat for this site is that I haven't found a way to search by actor or movie or year or anything like that. You type in a quote and it starts spitting out clips in no particular order that I can figure out. If you happen to want to use one of their movie clips right here, you just click on it. You're making a big mistake.
You're making a big mistake.
And you can see down here in the bottom right that that's 2 out of 78 clips that it has available. If you want to download the clip, you have to pause on the one you want to download. And here in the bottom left, you hit download video and you just choose where you want it to go and you download the video. If you get through all of these, watch what happens.
And I have to tell you, I think you're making a big mistake here.
Wait, boys, wait, you're making a big mistake.
Yes, we know, officer, and you're making a big mistake.
And after that, it wants you to buy a sponsorship. If you do that, you have access to all of the quotes that they have available. To do another search, and the searches are unlimited even for the free version, you just click the X right down here. And you type in a phrase. Let's go ahead and try a phrase like, "You're the best." Something super generic.
You're the best surgeons in the country, and I'm honored to lead you.
And it starts spitting out quotes again. You can see that this is quote number 2 out of 577. You can also see what movie this is from and the duration of the clip. This is great if you don't care where the quote came from, but if you were trying to find a quote from a specific movie, I'm not sure there's a way to do that on this site. This has medium resolution videos. They're not as low as one of the other apps I'm going to show you in a second. The next site is clip.cafe. Once you log in with your Google account, it looks like this. Here you can see the most recently uploaded movie and TV clips. If you happen to want a quote from one of these movies, you just click on it and you get a little bit of information about the movie, and you can see that there are 423 clips. You click on this, and these are all the clips from Harry Potter that they have available. You can also search by genre and by year, but I think most of you will do what I do, which is look for a specific quote. Let's use the same one for all of them. "You're the best." It immediately pops up the first clip of its choice. You have no decision in the matter at this stage, and you can scroll down and see other movies that have the same exact quote. The drawback to this site, the free version at least, is that you get these pop-ups all the time. When you click on them, it takes you somewhere, so you gotta watch out for viruses. I don't even know how to make the thing go away. There it is, it's gone. So that's the most annoying thing with the free version. One thing that makes this a little better than the prior one is that you can search by actor or character or director or writer or year or length. So that's kind of great. The quality is kind of it's about the same as the last site that I showed you, unless you get the paid version, in which case you can download in HD. To download a clip with a free version, you hit the download button here, and it lets you download it in low quality. HD is only the paid version, and you just hit download. And it lets you choose where to go, and you hit download, you hit save, and boom, you'll have that movie clip. Clip.cafe is fairly comparable to the first site that I showed you, a little better because it has these search parameters, but maybe not as good because it doesn't have as many clips. It's only got about 500,000 as of now. The next site is yarn.co. Of these 3, this is the one that I've actually used the most. The disadvantage of yarn.co is that the clips are very low resolution, and many of the clips are cut off in the beginning or the end of the clip. But with a little patience, you can probably find what you're looking for here. You just type in a phrase in the search bar. We're just doing the same for all of them to see what we get. It pops up this screen, and you can see all of these movie and TV clips with that specific quote in it, and they're all identical. They all say "you're the best." Over here on the right, you can sort by genre, decade, rating, title, people, and characters. So you've got a little more search criteria, so it might make it easier to find the clip you're actually looking for. To download it, you simply click on the clip. We'll play it.
You're the best.
If you like it, you just right-click on it and choose Save Video As, and just give it a name. "You're the best." Bam, you save it, and you've got your low-resolution version of this movie clip ready to be placed into your YouTube video. The last and best way to download movie clips from the internet is using an app that lets you download movie and TV clips and any videos from about 900 websites like Facebook and TikTok and Vimeo and Instagram. It even allows you to download movie clips from the site we're on right now, which I'm not going to mention in this portion so I don't get in trouble. The reason I got in trouble last time is because it's against YouTube's terms of service to download videos from YouTube, except in certain cases, like when you have a YouTube Premium account and you want to download a movie or video for offline viewing later. But that's only for viewing, not for using in your videos. So even though YouTube has the biggest library of TV and movie clips in the entire world, and they're searchable, and it's probably the easiest way to find a specific quote from a specific movie, I'm expressly telling you not to use the app that I'm going to share with you to download anything from YouTube, because it's against their terms of service. Just use it on one of the other 900 sites this app works on that don't have jack compared to YouTube. And the name of the app is, yeah, I'm not going to tell you. I don't want to get in trouble, but it is linked in the pinned comment and in the description below. It has a free version and a paid version. I have the paid version. It's worth it. It's been safe for me. I use it all the time. Of course, not on this site, just on one of those other 900 sites that doesn't have jack compared to YouTube. To learn how to get movie and TV clips from nearly any show or movie on the world of any length, you can only watch this video right here next.
Best video we've ever made.
So I like it. I like these videos that he has.
Eamon Gadget's highly polished videos use stuff like this all the time. Let's make our own version in CapCut. The last thing we add will give it that je ne sais quoi. The first thing we need is a cool background like Eamon, so if you don't have one, we can use the AI in CapCut and just go, create a Starfield as seen from outer space. And bam, we got a cool background. I have a video linked below that will teach you to use CapCut's AI, including its text-to-image feature. In CapCut, we can just drag that star background to our timeline, and bam, we've got a great start. In fact, we could use something like that to create text. We could just go over here to text, click on default, drag it on top, and instead of boring text on a blank background, you can end up with something cooler like this.
This is so exciting.
But Eamon's backgrounds are rarely just sitting there, they're often moving. So to make it move easily within CapCut, we just go into effects. We scroll down until we find our favorite moving background effect thing, which is rebound swing, and we just drag it on top of it. And now, background's moving around. You can adjust it so that it works better for your purposes. In our case, we want it to move maybe a little bit less and a little bit slower, so we'll bump this down to maybe size 15, speed 7, and we have a very subtly moving background. You may have noticed that Eamon's background has a couple layers. On top of the Starfield, he has a grid. Where do you get a grid? You could download one from the internet, you could use CapCut's AI to create a grid, or you could try this other website that does a great job creating images from text called lensgo.ai. And using that website, I created this background. Here's their logo here. Let's just drop it on top of the Starfield. We don't want to see the logo, so we're just going to scale it up a little bit. With this grid on top of the Starfield, I can't see the Starfield. In order to see it, because this grid has a black background itself, I'm just going to make sure it's highlighted in the timeline, jump over to Video, Basic, Blend, and here I'm going to select Screen, and it'll make the black stuff just go transparent. And then bam, now we can see our Starfield behind the grid. But the grid's pretty overpowering, so we're just going to bump the opacity down quite a bit. And now we have something that's looking, a lot closer to Eamon's. If you play it, it looks like this. But his grid is actually moving too. So what we should do for that is jump back over to Effects, grab Rebound Swing, drop it on there. And you want it to be different than the Starfield backgrounds so they don't move together. You want them to move out of sync. And the Starfield was, let's click on it and look at its settings, was 15 and 7. So for the grid, let's go ahead, click on this pencil so we can modify it. Instead of 15 and 7, let's make it 10 and 5 or something like that. 10 and 5, slow it down quite a bit. And then they should move out of sync with each other. They're still pretty syncy, so we're gonna change that even more. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Eamon has this parchment unrolling on the screen with statues on it and moving around. So the first thing we need is some parchment. We could either create one using AI or download one from the internet. I actually found this one online, and it has a transparent background, which makes it easier to work with. Remember, the goal of learning from videos like this, where it's edit like Eamon, edit like Mr. Beast, isn't to become Eamon or Mr. Beast. You're never going to be them. You're not them. You're going to be you. So be inspired by them and make your own version. And in Eamon's case, he's making videos about philosophers, but what if we're making a video about, you know, the top 4 most popular actresses in the country right now? So you could just have literally CapCut's AI create them for you. And it helps if you put them on a green screen, so I just had CapCut make
Scarlett Johansson, Margot Robbie, Gal Gadot, Jennifer Lawrence.
After importing our actresses and parchment into a new project in CapCut, we're going to add the parchment to the timeline. You can hit Shift-Z so the timeline fills the bottom of the screen. We're going to go with the default ratio so that it fits this parchment really well. We want to scale the parchment up a little bit. Just going to drag the corners a tiny bit, just so it goes all the way to the edges to make this work just right. And then we want our actresses on this parchment one at a time. So we're just going to grab Gal Gadot. I think it's Gadot in Hebrew and Gadot in English, but you can correct me below. So to make her fit on here and kind of look natural, one thing we can do is add a mask. So I'm just going to click on mask, click on the circle, and I'm going to just drag it so that it covers just before the edges. On the outside, I want it to go all the way out, but for her head and down here, I'm going to have it just crop a little bit there. Then we're going to click on this guy right here to feather it a little bit so it's a little smoother. Her head and down here is blending pretty well with the parchment. The only thing we need to do now is get rid of the green. Now, if you go into cutout, you would think you would just go chroma key, grab the color picker, click on the green screen, slide it over. But in this case, it just didn't do a great job. You can see her start to breaking up here. When I click it enough to make the green go away, we start to lose pieces of Gal here. So we're not going to use chroma key. We're just going to go to auto cutout, and it does a pretty dang great job. Eamon's philosopher statue dudes are kind of glowing green. We're going to make glowing red actresses. So for Gal, we're just going to jump down here to retro for these light effects and click on halo, drag it on top of Gal, and when you play it, it looks like this. A little bit too crazy for our purposes. We're just going to drag the speed all the way down to 0. Atmosphere, we can just leave it around 84-ish or so, and we get this. Looks pretty good, but she's still not red. To make her red, we're just going to click out of the effect by clicking right here below it in the timeline. So now that Gal is just selected, we're going to click on Adjustment, and right here it says Curves. We're going to click on Curves. Looks scary, it's not. We're just going to go to the red curve, so we're going to scroll down here to red, and just quick lesson on these curves. This is bright, this is dark, this is white and black, and when you adjust these, it modifies the dark or the light. And to make this all red, all we do is we take this left one, the one that adjusts the blacks, and we drag it all the way to the top, and bam, we have red Gal Gadot. And with that little effect, not bad so far, right? Eamon's parchments are unrolling on the screen, and the closest way to approximate that in CapCut that I've found is using the paper ball effect, but it's kind of a trick. So to do it, we're going to merge these two layers because we want them to be together as they unfold. So I highlight both of them, I right-click on them, and I choose Create Compound Clip. In other programs like Premiere, that's called nesting a clip. I'm going to jump into the middle here somewhere, doesn't matter too much, and I'm going to place a cut here by hitting Command-B on a Mac or Control-B on a PC, or by clicking on this little icon right here. And now we have the same clip but twice, so we have a place for a transition. So we're going to jump up here to transitions and find the paper ball effect. On my computer, it is right down here under the last trending thing, right there. Some of you have mentioned that you can't find the paper ball effect. I don't know for certain, I have no inside information on this, but it may be because you are downloading it in a country that doesn't offer that, and CapCut may have different iterations of its program in different countries. If you want this effect, one possible solution, don't know if this will work, let me know in the comments if it worked for you, use a VPN and VPN into the United States and re-download CapCut that way and see if the paper ball effect appears. Just let me know. We take the paper ball effect, we drag it onto the timeline, and it looks like this. Kind of cool, except that she shows up both places. So the hack I found, I've seen nobody else do this. You click on this first clip, jump into video, basic opacity, drag it down all the way. Nothing there. And we play it. What? Now if we just export this as is and bring it into our other project to start laying it on top of that Starfield background, it's not going to work because we have this black background. To make it work, what you want to do is put some green underneath it so we can easily key out the green, and notice there is no other green in this image, so it should work pretty well. If you don't have a green image, you can just download one from the internet or from Canva. By the way, when you find elements that you use a lot, graphics you use all the time, like maybe a subscribe button or a green screen, just save it in the same place. I have a place on my computer under Movies, Graphics, and then I have Generic, and in my Generic folder I have Green Screen Trev. This is just one I made in Photoshop, but you can get these all over the internet easily. So there's my green, and notice that it's a vibrant, bright green, so it's not going to clash with people's eyes and such. I'm just going to drag to the timeline and drag Gal on top of that green screen. Now, this looks like this. And doesn't look great because the green is there, but this is going to be really helpful. And also going to make sure that the green goes all the way to the top and bottom and edges of the screen. To do that, we're just going to click on it and scale it up. And now it looks like this. And we're going to export this. We just go to export. That's great. We have one, but we've got 3 more to make. And to do it all over again from scratch, it might be a pain, but what if there was a hack to make this super easy? There is. Let's go ahead and delete the transition, delete this first clip, drag this all the way forward, right-click, and choose Uncompound Clip. And now all we have to do is take the next actress. Let's take Margot Robbie. We're going to drag her on top here. See the little green plus icon up here? We let go, and it says, use the original video effect. Yes. Replace clip. Yes. Yeah, I'm sure. Confirm. And now, what? Margot Robbie's already ready to rock. Now, because I hit some undos, this green background is the wrong size.
Okay, let's do that. I wonder if he has it.
Someday, you're gonna die.
Even me.
So what the heck are you doing living the same day every day? That reality smacked us squarely in the face when Leela got breast cancer. So we took a risk, sold the house in Southern California, kissed our comfort zone goodbye,
Yeah, I'm that scared.
and committed ourselves to experiencing as much of this incredible planet as possible.
I freaking live today.
We've traveled the country in an RV, hiked glaciers in Iceland, spent the night in a dangerous, lawless city, learned to scuba dive in Mexico in a cenote with a crocodile, crossed the USA on a train, braved a nude beach, slept in a haunted museum alone, and sailed for weeks in the Bahamas on a boat that tried to kill us. And we're just getting started. Subscribe for our weekly videos to live through us and learn how you too can live a fulfilling life of adventure, even if you don't think you can afford it.
All right, let's see. Has he been in Argentina? It's crazy. Another time. Okay, so we gotta do next is go to sesh. And then memory. Okay. Next, we're going to maybe I should have created a GTM Labs. All right, let me just do it here. Figured. Over here. See if it. Whoa. Okay, that's a good idea. I didn't think about that. Okay, so create image. Use CapCut. Wait, what? Magic tools. Image, there we go. That's cool. So we should do the custom, surreal. Let's play around with it. Okay. Do art. Do this instead. Oh, there's more settings. Dang. What if I can order acai? O si mañana trabajas. Pensando en un lugar. Please. Here, we'll do this. Try this. What? That was fast. What did I have before? That's really fast. Oh shit, yeah, it does know it. Damn. Whoa. Damn, that actually looks sick. Okay. Okay, so let's go back now. So let's go back to what it was doing. Opens this back up. Then we'll zoom in. This first episode. All right, yeah. Well, Courtney, thank you again for joining. Fuck! Wait, I cut that part out. Stakeholders, you are a stakeholder, so I'm glad you're here. Oh, first off, actually, congratulations on making senior product manager. So we just get right into it. Okay, so travel. Okay. You know what I could do is I could be like, I wonder how it's gonna look like because illustrations aren't usually like that. You know, I have another idea. We're gonna come here and we are going to download the transcript as PDF. Cool. Now we're going to come into ChatGPT and we're going to say sorry, but thank you. And then we're going to do this. Hi, you're going to take transcripts of videos and or dialogues, and your purpose is going to scan through the transcript and pick out moments where it's a good idea to display an image in order to get an idea across. Period. You will then use DALL-E think of the best prompt to get the idea across. Once you come up with a prompt, use a prompt to create a couple of variations of that prompt. Period. Do you understand? Question mark. How do they do that? Let's see if it works. Damn, wait, how similar was it to this? Did I delete it or something? Hmm. It's very boring. I want you to make it super unhinged, like coming from a horror movie. Tough. Let me see. That's a pretty good image. I just don't know how it will. What's like the context of it? Does it go along with the context in the transcript? Like the mood of the picture, does it go along with the context of the transcript? If it doesn't, please update it so it does. Right. Okay. The next prompt is am I getting in trouble for this? Because it's like depicting. Yeah, let's not do that. Because I don't want to false represent a product of a company. An image showing two contrasting one. Low ceiling. I like the depiction and the ambiance of the different ones. The only thing is that the roof, the height of the roof is still the same for both of them. It's the same, to be honest. Let's just make one look completely different, like super contrasty in terms like one is extremely open space and the other one is super cluttered with a lot of things, but kind of feels more like not cluttered in a bad way, but cluttered with like a lot of decorations and just feels very like comfortable.
The new illustration, designed to showcase two extremely contrasting work environments, is now available for your review. One side depicts a very open and spacious office with a modern, minimalist approach, while the other side features a cozy, decoration-rich office space that is cluttered in a positive way, creating a homely and inviting atmosphere.
Please take a look at the image to see if it captures the contrasting styles you envisioned.
I think the first one might be the best one. Okay, go through the prompt again, or sorry, go through the transcript. Transcript again and pick out other key moments that would be good for the viewers at home to visualize.
Having reviewed the transcript of Meet the Stakeholders, here are additional key moments where visuals could effectively enhance the viewer's experience. Javani's travel experiences. As Javani talks about his travels, specifically his time in Argentina and Mexico, an image showcasing iconic landmarks or cultural elements of these countries could add a vivid context to his narrative.
Prompt for Argentina. A picturesque view of Argentina highlighting famous landmark.
Don't like it. Hmm. Ooh, I like these. Remember that an image is going to be going above this because this is the background. And so we don't want the chalk to be too bright and be distracting and take away from what the viewer should be looking at, which is the other picture. I want the chalk to be faded, almost like it's been erased, or it's been tried to been erased, but there's still a lingering of some chalk there. Oh. This is the right direction. I want more variations of this. I want to lean more on the overall darkness of the background. Let's go back to the other picture, and let's lean now on the density of the equations. Yes, now I want it to be like everything was erased on the chalkboard. I like the best one. I like this one. Yeah, let's try to make the chalk look more grayer, like it was more erased. Yeah, let's try to make the chalk look more gray, like it was erased. For the next one, I don't want a huge circle, but I do want like smaller graphs here and there, but they also have to be extremely grayed out and erased. Maybe like a sine wave or a cosine wave, maybe like a vertex or a vortex. Maybe like orbits, things like that. I want the background to be a blackboard, and I don't want any planets, and I want the chalk to be more erased and more faint, like extremely more faint. The only thing I don't like is a huge circle in the middle. I would really just prefer having graphs spread throughout, or like sine waves spread throughout. And remember to keep the faintness of the chalk. Okay.
So just make sure things are right, scale that back up, and then we I'm in different countries. If you want this effect, one possible solution, don't know if this will work, let me know in the comments if it worked for you. Use a VPN and VPN into the United States and re-download CapCut that way and see if the paper ball effect appears. Just let me know. We take the paper ball effect, we drag it onto the timeline, and it looks like this. Kind of cool, except that she shows up both places. So the hack I found, I've seen about, the top 4 most popular actresses in the country right now. So you could just have literally CapCut's AI create them for you, and it helps if you put them on a green screen, so I just had CapCut make
Scarlett Johansson, Margot Robbie, Gal Gadot.
How do I get? This first episode.
Jennifer Lawrence.
After importing our actresses and parchment into a new project in CapCut, we're going to add the parchment to the timeline. You can hit Shift-Z so the timeline fills the bottom of the screen. We're going to go with the default ratio so that it fits this parchment really well. We want to scale the parchment up a little bit. Just going to drag the corners a tiny bit, just so it goes all the way to the edges to make this work just right. And then we want our actresses on this parchment one at a time. So we're just going to grab Gal Gadot. I think it's Gadot.
I guess upload the. Maybe this one works better.
Gadot in Hebrew and Gadot in English, but you can correct me below. So to make her fit on here and kind of look natural, one thing we can do is add a mask. So I'm just going to click on mask, click on the circle, and I'm going to just drag it so that it covers just before the edges. On the outside, I want it to go all the way out, but for her head and down here, I'm going to have it just crop a little bit there. Then we're going to click on this guy right here to feather it a little bit so it's a little smoother. Her head and down here is blending pretty well with the parchment. The only thing we need to do now is get rid of the green. Now, if you go into cutout, you would think you would just go chroma key, grab the color picker, click on the green screen, slide it over. But in this case, it just didn't do a great job. You can see her start to breaking up here. When I click it enough to make the green go away, we start.
Okay, I'm gonna learn this later because this is taking more time. Probably just gonna watch videos, binge watch it. What I really want to focus on is moving the things forward in the company, and like this is just minor stuff. I'm just getting in the weeds. Like I already spent like 2 hours on this, so I'm gonna just publish this, call it a day, and yeah. Well, Courtney, thank you for joining this. I need to. No, I can add this as a lessons learned. I'm focusing on speed right now. Oh, you know what's a good thing idea? Um, okay, I have just recorded my first podcast with Courtney Pellegrini, a senior product marketing manager at Unitas. And I want to talk about lessons learned because I think it's really important. Some of the lessons learned is that I didn't spend enough time preparing for the podcast. There was a lot of that went on at work, and that got the best of me, and that's no excuse. I'm going to start to prepare more for these guests. And what I mean by not prepared is I came up with the questions, but I didn't practice saying them. And there were moments in the podcast I realized I was focusing more on how I was going to sound reading the questions and then hoping that I sound not robotic and it sounds like casually asking and it sounds like I'm not reading. Whereas if I would have prepared and memorized these questions, it would have been better and I would have been listening and it would have been more utilizing active listening. I think it would have flowed more like a conversation because I would have had more questions. Playing it back, I realized there was a lot of missed opportunities and follow-up questions to dig deeper. Perhaps some audience members would have been like, man, I wish I could know about X, Y, and Z. And it's only playing it back where I realized, dang, there was a lot of missed opportunities there. So I think one of the things I want to be is just more present in the moment, period. And also, too, the questions I were asking were basically like 3 questions in one. I mistimed how much time to allocate per question. And I really believed that we were going to be spending like 25 minutes on a question. But Courtney did an amazing job and she gave very thorough, descriptive answers. And we did it all within like 30 minutes. So I think I'm not scared anymore to just ask single line questions and then from there open up the dialogue and have a back and forth. And then, yeah. Also, too, in preparing for my guest in the future, this is something that didn't happen today because I know Courtney and I know the company she works for. But for future guests, what I'm going to do is I want to do more research on 1, the company, 2, the industry and the market, and then 3, the actual person and their career. Maybe some of the things like where they went to school and their degree and how they got into product marketing and things like that. Another thing that I learned is that I'm getting lost in the weeds. Like I'm getting lost in how to edit and how to make these transitions and how to do special effects in the video where, really the name of the game is speed. And it's like, how fast can I get this out there? How fast can I edit this? How fast can I make short form clips of this? How fast can I upload this on different platforms like Spotify, iTunes, YouTube? And how fast can I get my next guest? And I'm focusing on I should be focusing on things that really matter the most, which is 1, bringing in revenue, obviously, but it's 2, it's networking, it's building my book of podcast guests, it's, getting that, just basically a line of people wanting to join the podcast. And I'm focusing too much on like watching videos on how to edit the podcast and how to do cool text animations. And so I'm focusing on things that don't matter that much. I mean, these things are important, but it's not what's gonna drive attention the most. I think what's really gonna be more important is the quality of guests that I'm having on, and I think that's one thing I need to focus on. But then again, it's like if a guest sees a podcast and he or she sees how different it is and the quality of work that goes into the video quality and the sound design, special effects, transitions, the flow of it, maybe they would be enticed to join the podcast. But that's neither here or there. That's just like a thought that's just coming to my mind as of now. And also too, because I'm working on speed, I'm realizing that there's a lot of things that I need to do while, it's like going back to that phrase, like building the plane as we fly it, which is a stick out phrase used at Unite Us. And for example, when I was right before I reached out to Courtney, I realized, oh wow, most podcasts have sponsors. Well, I don't have a sponsor because I don't even have a podcast yet. I haven't even recorded my first podcast episode. And so then I thought, well, I need to somehow get the word out of gtmlabs.io, so might as well just record my own ad and then add it into the podcast as like an ad placement. I think that's an amazing idea, but that's something that I didn't think of until I was preparing for the podcast. Another thing that I realized while editing the podcast is I don't have an introduction for the podcast. I don't have a segment introduction, introducing the guest. In fact, in the podcast, Courtney kind of led the beginning and said, hey, if you'd want, I don't know how you want to start these things, but I can do like a quick intro of myself and like how I got into product marketing and where I'm at now. And that's another thing that I need to work on is control of the podcast and the direction of it. So having more of that leadership, I don't know how to say, I don't know the right word, but it's more of like, I need to be more of like a host and less of a guest with him in my own podcast. So that is like setting the stage, letting the guests know what's happening, obviously asking for permission to record and to redistribute the podcast into other platforms. And then it's also, like, hey, we're going to go into, you're going to give a quick intro, like what's your, who you are, your title, the teams you work with, the company you're currently at, how did you get into product marketing, just a quick like 5-minute intro. And that's something I didn't do, but I'm going to be doing in the next podcast episode. And I think also I want to include, like if I know these people, I want to be transparent and have them like, how did we meet, or how do we know each other? They kind of explain like, oh, I was your manager at X company, or oh, well, we're colleagues working at, here. So that way the viewers have like a context to it. So those are some of the lessons learned that I've had. I'm trying to think if I learned anything more. But yeah, the key takeaway is speed, speed, speed. I'm sure I'm making mistakes right now. I know I'm not the best podcaster. I'm not the best eloquent speaker. I'm not the best at promoting myself and the work I'm doing at gtmlabs.io. May not be the best at getting guests on the podcast, but I think I just want to focus on speed and just make as many mistakes as humanly and less embarrassingly as possible and learn from those mistakes, because I truly believe you learn the fastest by those mistakes you just like wish you never made. We're really fine. Cool. And what I want you to do now is to create a LinkedIn post that is informative and engaging, that focuses on introducing the podcast and also the lessons learned from this first podcast episode. And then also thanking Courtney for being an amazing colleague, friend, and supporter. Period. Is of teamwork. Everything sounds good. I just don't like the word synergies. Okay, cool. So, also for the lessons learned part, can you also add like bullet points or like check marks on things that where you made mistakes and how you're gonna correct the mistakes moving forward? Okay.
Which I still do, but active often spend a lot more across the broader organization. So working with big for teams like sales enablement and
Actually, I should have this like when I'm speaking. Is that way? So one of the things. So one of the things I'm curious about is there, since you become like from going from PMM to senior PMM, is there a? Boy, there better not be. Dang, that's early as. I guess. 8:30. This,
But I guess as a general, the team collaborated.
yeah, that's really important. I know for me personally, when I first joined, remember Rosanna.
Like, use things CBT to even just like ideas around and get us started. Or just using it. It's very interesting.
So they,
Even the people that we're working with.
interesting. Yeah, so they gamified kind of her. I don't know if that's how you spell it. I think so. It's like last. The fuck? Why is it green right there? So they gamified it kind of. Or it's like last week you're here and this week you're 10% more.
Yeah.
Here and this week you're 10% more.
Yeah.
And so last question. Today's episode is sponsored by GTM Labs. Yo, even in here it's wrong. Oh my gosh. Wait. Doesn't it have Oh, I don't need this. That's a good catch. Damn, I'm good. Last question. Today's episode is sponsored by GTM Labs. Very own venture. So good that it's claimed that ads for itself. At GTM Labs, we see product marketing a little bit. It's not just about the product itself. Just about the product yourself, story you tell. It's the art of capturing attention, engaging minds, sparking conversations. Our mission is simple: elevate your product, one in a million to one of a kind. GTMLabs.com. I don't know if the best thing is for me, my face to be in the ad. But it's a podcast. It's a podcast. How do regular people? One in a million to one of a kind. ETM Labs. It's bugging me. The strategic support you need when you need it without the commitment of full-time. Flexible, subscription-based assistance. It's just right. And the best part is it's hassle-free, no endless back and forth, no discovery call. Simply choose your tier, ready to roll. And if you need to hit pause, no problem. We'll be here when you're ready to press. So on building influence. So on building influence and posture. In a role that often requires you to influence without authority and navigate opposite politics, what strategies have you found effective in building relationships? Also, another lesson learned is that I need to check my audio because my $1,000 mic was basically not even on. A sad thing. A sad thing. BRB, BRB. Damn, I did damage. You know what? Fuck it. We're gonna have wine. I don't care if there's calories in wine. Wine and peanuts. Why not? Honestly, this should be a year. So one of the things I was thinking about is that I'm gonna turn ChatGPT on for this too. Actually, ooh. Goddamn, when did this get so goddamn dry? as I'm editing the video, I feel very cringe to see myself pitching. So one of the strategies that I'm implementing is that at the very close to the end of the podcast, I'm placing a pre-recorded 60-second video of me pitching gtmlabs.io. And it's a pretty good pitch. And it talks about the pain and problems, very catered to small teams that don't have a product marketing manager. Here, I just don't like the idea of like pitching. So I was also thinking of, instead of it being an ad, or like for like them to call the action to be to go to GTM Labs and like subscribe. Instead of that being the call to action maybe will be something around like, we have a lot of great resources and tools, templates. Subscribe to our newsletter to get access to like all of them. But looking back, all the podcasts that I've watched, they just shamelessly plug their brand. However, I think those podcasts were like B2C podcasts, so maybe it makes more sense for them to do that. But also too, like if I were to not plug in my brand or to plug in GTM Labs, people wouldn't even know like the whole purpose of this. And also too, if I wanted to make a call to action to subscribe to the newsletter, that would take way longer, because one, I have to reshoot the video. Two, I had to create the resources in order for them to, want to subscribe to the newsletter. Three, there's more commitment to actually like monthly keep up with the newsletter and keep creating new templates. So, and that would actually push back the date of the launch of the podcast. And going back to speed is speed. We gotta move forward with this pitching, this hard pitching, hard selling. Even though I don't like to hard sell, I don't like to hard pitch. It's just, I'm at a point where like, get rid of it and no one knows about GTM Labs, or swallow my insecurities and just have a hard pitch video on the have me hard pitching in the podcast. That's where I'm at. No.
Moving forward.
Awesome. Awesome. I wanted to add you on Instagram. I didn't know you had one.
That will be Instagram.
All right, yeah. Well, Courtney, thank you again for joining this first episode of the State.
That will be Instagram. Instagram.
Okay. Done. fuck is this? Oh, part of the cork. All right, let's watch the video. I'm watching this.
Start to lose pieces of gal here. So we're not going to use chroma key. We're just going to go to auto cutout, and it does a pretty dang great job. Eamon's Philosopher. And then I have generic, and in my generic folder I have green screen Trev. This is just one I made in Photoshop, but you can get these all over the internet easily. So there's my green, and notice that it's a vibrant, bright green, so it's not going to clash with people's eyes and such. I'm just going to drag to the timeline and confirm, and now, what? Margot Robbie's already ready to rock. Now because I hit some undos, this green background is the wrong size, so just make sure things are right, scale that back up. And then we compound this clip again, create compound clip. We create a cut in the middle, Command B, and we go back to transitions. We drag our paper ball here, and we click on this first image of Margot, and we take the opacity all the way down, and we just export it and do exactly the same thing for the remaining two actresses. Next, we jump back into our main project with the background, and we import all 4 of the actresses on parchment that we created, and we just drag them to the timeline, and we find where this transition starts to take place, which is right here. Go to that very first frame. Then we're just going to split it right there, delete this green portion here, drag this all the way to the beginning. And we need to get rid of the green. To do that, we simply make sure that this is highlighted in the timeline. We go to cutout, click on chroma key, click color picker, click on the green, drag the slider up as much as you want pretty much, because there's not a lot of green going on in that image other than that background. Add a little bit of shadow, and then we can just scale gal here, put her maybe in this top left. We can rotate her around like that. Looks like this. That's not bad, but in Eamon's video, the images are all moving. How do we make it move? Well, we jump back into effects and we find rebound swing. Now, by the way, if you're going to be using something a lot, you'll probably use this one a lot. You want to make it a favorite. To do that, when you go down to any of these images, they have these stars. So you just click on the star, and then it becomes one of your favorites, appears at the top, so you don't have to dig for it, because it can be kind of hard to find these guys down here. So this one, notice, gold star, going to drag it on top of gal, and default, I mean, it's moving a little bit kind of crazy. The size is kind of nuts. So I'm just going to take the size way down so it moves less to 7. Let's see what 733 looks like. Yeah, that's not bad. We can leave it there. We want to repeat this for all 3 other actresses. Just position them a little bit different and adjust their rebound swing a little different so they're not moving in sync. And in the timeline, you want to space them out like this so they don't start at exactly the same time, but have them all end at the same time. And then we'll go full screen and we get something like this. This next thing is going to make it just look a little cooler, a little more pro. We're going to jump back into effects and find an effect called black noise. I have it up here in favorites, but I think you'll find it here in retro. So I'm going to take black noise, and instead of dropping it on an individual clip, I'm going to drop it above all of them here at the beginning of the timeline. I'm going to stretch it for the duration of the timeline, and now we have an effect that looks like this. See all those specks that just kind of give it that extra All of these images of these girls are still images. You could do exactly the same thing with a video clip and put it here. So these would be like 4 different video clips moving. In fact, they have a little bit of animation within them because the glow is moving a little bit, but it could be a full video clip. What would that look like if we added a video clip, maybe stuck it here, added some music and sound effects? Let's see. If you want to see some Eamon Gadget level After Effects animation you can do right within CapCut that might even be cooler than this, you want to click on this video right here. Also, if you want to see how to do that hoodie headbang transformation thing, go ahead and hit subscribe. If this video gets "23-year-old self-made multimillionaire Eamon Gadget is crushing YouTube with his insanely good videos. He has all kinds of stuff like this in his videos, which he very likely has a team of editors and graphics guys creating in After Effects. But I'm going to show you how to do some pro-level stuff in CapCut, which is free.
That can't possibly be true.
Bookmark this video so you can go back to it and master the concepts I show you in this video.
Time to put your bookmark in, Mr. Brady.
Once you master these concepts, you'll be able to level up your videos so you too can go viral like Eamon Gadget.
You're gonna be huge!
First, we need some cool graphics to animate. I can't draw jack, so I had CapCut's AI create them for me. Now let's jump into CapCut and create some After Effects animation. Here's the street I created in CapCut. I'm going to drag it to the timeline. Here's the car I created. I'm going to throw it on top. The street is pretty wide here, so I'm going to scale it up. I can just click on scale and drag it up to fill the screen. Let's go ahead and drag the street out to about 6 seconds and drag the car out to about the same, just so we have a little bit longer sequence to play with. And I'm going to fill up the screen by using my favorite keystroke, which is Shift-Z. Now Shift-Z does the same thing as this little ruler here, which fills the screen up. So if you're like zoomed out like this a bunch and you want it to fill the whole screen, you can either click this or you can hit Shift-Z. Remember that. It's important. We can easily animate this car by positioning the car where we want it to start, setting a position keyframe right here, and then moving the playhead to the end of the sequence, moving the car to here, and another keyframe is automatically set right here. And now, hey, we have a car going across the screen, but, you know, it looks pretty cheesy. We can make this a lot better. I'm just going to undo all of that by hitting Command-Z on my keyboard. What if we could have the wheels turning, but it's a static image? How do you do that? This is pretty cool, actually. What we're going to do is just cut out one of the wheels. And to do that, we're going to click on this image of the car, click on this crop icon here, and we're going to shrink it way down as small as it gets and position it over one of the wheels. And you want it dead center, and you'll see this dude really wants to know how to edit like Ali Abdaal on a phone, so here you go, Indrish. Ali is always using interesting backgrounds, including cool paper ones I don't think people understand what it takes to create a viral video, but Alex Hormozi does.
What does he do?
Well, all of his videos for sure have this. Here, take a screenshot. But let me show you 5 more things you can do in CapCut that Alex Hormozi didn't have.
Okay, now let's go back to okay. And then we'll open up the web one. That's crazy.
His last long-form video to keep viewers glued to their screens. Number 1, he stylizes his clips. Sometimes they look just like this. Now, creating this look is pretty easy. We'll just jump into CapCut. We'll highlight a clip. We'll go over to Adjustment, scroll down to Saturation, and just take it all the way down to the left, -50, and now it's a black and white clip. But something else you can do to kind of level it up a little more is just add a little vignette. Scroll to the bottom, drag vignette up here to around that, and suddenly we have a clip that looks kind of cool. Now that's one way to do it, but let's just undo that. And let me show you another way to do it. Another way is you can stylize your clips with these built-in filters. Here are a bunch of variations on these black and white filters. To try the filters out, you just make sure the clip in the timeline is highlighted. Then you just click on the filter you want to use. There's one look. Here's another. Here's Twilight. Those are all pro looks if you like them. Here's Tunnel. And here's black and white 3, black and white 1. black and white too. Who knew there were that many options for black and white? But there's a ton of other filters you can try. You should just spend some time playing around this and find maybe a look that you like, or if you need to enhance a clip to make it stand out from the other clips, these are some of your choices. Now, one extreme one is like pumpkin, you know, kind of crazy, maybe for Halloween, happens to be coming up. Shooting this in October. A filter I really like is called Hollywood 2. You click on movies, go over here to Hollywood 2, and it gives you the movies look. If you look in movies, you'll see teal and orange all the time. Faces kind of lean towards orange. The complementary color to orange is teal, so you'll have the subject, orange face in the foreground, teal in the background. Start looking in movies, you'll see this all the time. Go ahead and level up your videos with teal and orange. Number 2, in Alex's latest video, he used this cool light flare effect quite a bit. And it's pretty elegant, used a lot in movies and in YouTube videos, and it's super easy to do in CapCut. You simply click on transitions here, you select Glare 2, and you find 2 clips that you want to transition between, and you drag the transition right in between them, and it looks like this. I'm gonna turn the audio off so you don't have to listen to me, so you can look at it. Bam, looks pretty dope. You can extend it, make it longer by clicking and dragging here. And you can also change the duration by clicking up here. Bing, bing. But I think, you know, a little over a second looks pretty great. Whoa. Number 3, and you should do this in all your videos, when Alex tells you something, if possible, he shows you something. Sometimes it's video, sometimes it's graphics, and very often it's text, like this cool Twitter thing he did in his latest video. Let's quickly learn how to make that cool Twitter screen. To create this effect, I just took a screenshot of my Twitter account and cropped it down to be like this. It's gonna drag it to my timeline. It's obviously too big, we're gonna scale it down, position it about where it's gonna go in the video. Now we need to add a black screen, so there's somewhere to type on all that text like Alex did. You can download a simple black screen from anywhere online, create one in Photoshop, or download one from sites like Canva. Let's go ahead and grab this black, and we're going to put it in between these 2 tracks here. Now we're gonna go ahead and type our fake tweet just by clicking on text and hitting the plus sign, and making this last the duration of this graphic. We're going to select it all, scale the font size down to something that works in our little limited space here. Select another font if we like. How about Helvetica New? And I'm just going to position it right here where it's going to go ultimately. Now we'll just select all this text and type in our tweet. To clean it up, we're going to highlight all of it by hitting Command A on a Mac, Control A on a PC. We're going to scroll down to Alignment and hit Left Alignment. Just going to scale it up a little bit and reposition it. We also want to add the Twitter or the X logo, which looks like this. We're just going to click and drag it onto the timeline, scale it way down, and it's on a black background, so it's going to work great. And we'll put it down here so it looks like a Twitter post, right? Then we want to bring the text in, similar to what Alex did. I couldn't find anything that exactly matched, but type 2 is pretty close. Looks like that. That went pretty fast. I'm going to slow it down to maybe a second by dragging the slider over, and now it looks like this. Next, we're going to highlight all of these layers, right-click, and choose Create Compound Clip, and that allows us to modify all of this stuff together. Next, we jump over here to Mask, we choose Rectangle, and we shape it around our text so that it fits and looks as cool as humanly possible. We'll then round the corners a bit, around 18 or so, should look pretty good. That looks pretty great, right? And now because all of this stuff is in a group, we can scale this and move this around. This is its own little thing. So all we have to do is click on Basic, go to Scale, scale it down a little bit, and position it like right over here. And now when I'm pointing, bam, that stuff appears. The last thing we want to do with that is have it come on kind of cool. So to have that come on cool, we make sure it's highlighted, and we go over to Animation, we choose In, and we can choose any of these for it to come in. Let's just try Shake 3. Bam. You know, that's something. It was kind of fast. We can slow it down a little bit. But just something to keep the action on the screen moving. The fourth thing is Alex uses a lot of B-roll, and he doesn't shoot all his B-roll. His staff isn't shooting all this B-roll. He's using stock images all the time in his videos. Now, within CapCut, we do have some B-roll built in that's free to use and copyright royalty free. If you click on Library over here, you can see, a few options down here in Life. We have some, clips that may work in certain circumstances. There aren't a ton of options, but if you see something you like, hey, there's this guy clicking on a keyboard, you just hit the download icon right there, wait for a sec, and then just drop it into your timeline and put it where you want it to go. And bam, we have a free, kind of cool clip You might have to scale it up, hit video, scale it up so it fills the screen, and bam, we've got that clip free built into CapCut. CapCut doesn't have a ton of free videos built in, but there are places you can get video clips for free to fit your needs. One of them is this site called Pexels. And for this, you just click on photos, but select videos. Let's see when a person's staring at a phone. You can go over here to filters and select horizontal if you're using it for a long form video, or vertical if you're using a short. And sizes, if you want to make sure that you get only like higher quality stuff, click on large. And bam, you've got a ton of videos of people staring at phones. In fact, here's one that I downloaded and you saw earlier. And to download it, all you do is you just hit the download button. I personally use a website called Storyblocks. There's another one called Artlist. There's other websites that are paid that are like, between, 10 and 25 bucks a month, where you can get pretty much unlimited stock footage, find anything that you want to use in your videos without any issues with copyright. The fifth thing Alex does in his videos is, okay, actually, I'm lying. I've not seen Alex do this, maybe he has, but I use movie clips in my videos all the time, which makes them really fun. Is that legal? I mean, yeah, if you do it right.
You're full of shit.
I don't think I am. To see how to find and download movie clips to use in your videos without going to jail, you want to click on this video right here.
Or I'll shut you.
Okay. I'm gonna watch this later. Focus on what matters, which is this. Going to YouTube. Okay. Oh, perfect. Look, it's already logged in. Okay. Okay, I think everything seems pretty cool. Okay. Oh, this is gonna be super slow if I do this. Courtney. I'm not even gonna assume that I know how to spell her last name. What was I doing here again? Oh yeah. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Okay, switching gears now, seeing as you have the transcript for the podcast episode, how would you introduce Courtney and give a brief description about the episode? Welcome to our latest episode of Meet the Stakeholder, where we dive into the dynamic world of product marketing. Today, we're thrilled to introduce Courtney, a seasoned professional in the field. The last sent or the second to last sentence where it says the conversation also touches on the intriguing concept of workplace design. Let's substitute that and mention instead about working cross functionally and the role of AI as a product marketing manager. The video is too long, though. What are you talking about? Raining? Oh, it's raining. All right, let's check this out.
Yeah, currently a senior product marketing manager at a tech company. We work to address social determinants of health. So it's a software platform that really a lot of different organizations like healthcare providers, government organizations, nonprofits can use to connect people to important resources in the community, things like food support and housing assistance. So they use the technology to not only like connect people to programs, but also track what happened after people leave the hospital, for example. I guess I'll touch on the building influence piece of it first. So I think as a PMM, you are maybe often in situations where you're not the most senior person in the room. But that does not mean, at all that people shouldn't respect you or listen to what you have to. So I think for me, it's been really important to just try to voice my opinion and just really trust myself, that my voice and opinions matter. And that's something I've had to really learn, and something that I'm honestly still working on is not qualifying my statements. And this is actually something that I've been using, like ChatGPT and other tools like that, to kind of help me with. And so, when I say not qualifying my statements, I'm meaning like making something less strong or negating what you're saying by adding unnecessary detail or explanation to it. So words like basically, sort of, maybe, I think, and even phrases like I used to say this a lot. I would say, sorry for bothering you, or, whenever you get a chance, like stuff like that. I think often for me, those things were said with the intention of being nice and being, a good teammate. But I think they can also come at the risk of people not seeing you in a position of authority. So that's just an instance, I think, where, see, I'm doing it now, I think, where language really matters. Um, And I think the last thing I would touch on, you mentioned kind of, office politics, and that type of thing can often happen. I think that's unfortunately going to be, part of any working environment. And some places are better than others about that. But something I really try to ground myself in, and I don't know who needs to hear this, but at the end of the day, it is just a job. And, that's not to discount all the great things that we're talking about and all of the great work that we as PMMs are doing. It's all really inspiring, but, just not losing sight of the fact that, it is work, and your health and your well-being and the relationships that you have with your family and your friends are really the most important thing. So I heard a quote somewhere that I always kind of keep in the back of my head when I'm feeling caught up in the politics or the drama. And it says there's no such thing as a marketing emergency. And thank goodness
is no, I love you, I can't wait to see you. Real love for Colombian woman is, I wanna make breakfast for you every day, bebé, and special arepas. Bebé, I wanna create a company with you and work together. And get ready for tonight, bebé. I wanna dance salsa with you. Papacito, real love is no, I love you, I can't wait to see you. Real love for Colombian woman is, I wanna make breakfast for you every day, bebé, and special arepas. Bebé, I wanna create.
Yo con mi novia cachonda.
Ahora encuérate, perro.
Yo con mi novia cachonda. Yo con mi novia cachonda.
Hi, I'm Liv. I have a congenital upper limb difference that makes you fingers on each hand.
Hi, I'm Grace. I have Escobar syndrome, which makes my muscles and joints tighter.
But that doesn't stop us from giving each other a high five. Hi, I'm Liv. I have a congenital upper limb difference that makes you fingers on each hand.
Hi, I'm Grace. I have Escobar syndrome.
It's kind of bad.
That makes you fingers on each hand. Hi, I'm Liv. I have a congenital
Stop. Oh, you gotta get me on this one. What's this word? Tighter, you say? Oh. Oh no. I think what I want to do is I'm gonna go back. What? Why is it abandoned?
In this video, we'll show you how to verify your account on YouTube. You can get more features like custom thumbnails and longer uploads. To get started, go to youtube.com/verify. Note that this verification is different from some
Oh.
of the verification badges you might find on other channels. Select the country you're in and pick if you want to get a phone call or a text message. If you pick a phone call, you'll get an automated call immediately after you enter your number, so click confirm after you make sure you have your phone nearby. Now enter the phone number and hit submit to get a call with the code. If you prefer text, select text me the verification code and enter your phone number. Once you get the text or phone call, enter the code you received and hit submit. When you get back to the status and features page, you'll now see that your account is verified. And that's it. Subscribe to our channel for more tips and tricks.
You also asked about some strategies for being diplomatic, in situations where you might need to approach it with some tact.
Hi. Ever. There you go. I don't know. All right. We've uploaded it to YouTube November 11th. Crazy. Crazy. Wow, dude, I'm tired. All right, tomorrow we're gonna focus on Spotify, iTunes, and the rest, and then from there we are going to focus on reaching out to other individuals. Now, probably on Sunday. Monday, we're gonna focus on posting. I think we're gonna post on Tuesday. And then what do we want Monday to focus on? Just creating more content, I guess. I'm not sure. But anyways, I'm ending the stream here. It's been a pleasure. And that concludes day 15 now. Have a good night.